Wunderbar.
You must tell me when I need to start. No.
You can start, do that.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the podcast. We have a special guest in store with us today. This is Sailor Dean, and we are very, very, very excited to have her with us today. I'm going to pass over to Sailor Dean to give us a brief introduction of herself. Let us know a little bit more about herself.
Hey everyone, so if you didn't hear it, my name is Sailor and I'm a full-time content creator / influencer. We don't like using that term these days. And I'm also a part-time makeup artist.
Perfect. Sailor is from J-Bay, so very small town, but she has flourished, and we are having her in the studio today to tell us a bit about her journey, her story, how she managed to blow up into this incredible, inspirational influencer.
Thanks.
So I'll start off with a question of what got you into the whole beauty industry, social media vibe?
It honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it really just happened, and it sounds cliche that I say that, but I started watching a lot of YouTube videos in around grade 10 high school, and I would go home every single day, like excited, that's like wanting to not do homework, but I'd rather be playing with makeup, and it really inspired me. So I kind of just started creating content and also doing makeup clients. I think I did my first wedding when I was in grade 11, which is insane. To think about it now, I'm like, oh my gosh, people probably like, oh my word, how are we letting this girl trust us with my wedding makeup? But yeah, it really just happened, and yeah, I really don't know how to explain it because it wasn't something that I knew like even existed. It was just posting, brands started reaching out to me, and I was like, what is this? Like,
yeah,
what do you
this
mean?
Could be a thing.
Because I used to see all the American YouTubers going like, oh no, they got this in PR, they got this, and I was like, this is kind of cool. And then I started receiving PR. So yeah, it really something that kind of fell into my lap, but I have been working hard at it to make it a full-time career.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think when you did start, the whole Instagram, and the whole YouTube thing was a very soft market. There wasn't really a lot of people popping off on there. We didn't know much about it. There wasn't much market research into it. There were those YouTubers that we watched, that we subscribed to, but it seemed so foreign to us. Like, it's overseas people. We can't do that. And I think you are one of the many influencers from South Africa who have now shown that it is possible, that anyone can do it, as long as you put the time in and effort. And like you and I were saying earlier, I think there's a lot to it that people don't actually know. They all think it's like glorious and rainbows and free stuff, but they don't understand the work that goes into it.
Yeah.
So that also another question I wanted to ask you was, what did you need to start up? If someone had to say to you, look, Sailor, like, I want to do this, realistically, like a checklist off of the top of your head, what do they need to start?
So I feel like back then we weren't as privileged with really good quality phones. I literally borrowed cameras from people where I could. Like, my gran bought a new camera for like her Kruger trips that she used to do to take photos of animals, and I was like, Nana, can I use your camera? So I used her camera, I used a friend's camera, until I could obviously afford to buy my own. But now, these days, our iPhones are like they're incredible. Like, we've got cinematic mode, like a lot of the stuff, like there's a few videos on my feed that you wouldn't actually say have been shot with an iPhone. So I don't know, unless it's something that you're really taking seriously, I wouldn't say go and invest in a camera right away. Like, your iPhone really is good enough.
Yes.
And once you're like, okay, cool, I'm going to take this more seriously, then you can start looking at investing in like expensive camera.
And I think as well with the camera, doing your research into what the phone offers, knowing the settings and stuff like that. A lot of our stuff that we shoot in offices with the iPhones
these days, like, if you go into the settings, there's so many things that you don't actually know about that you can like manually change. So I don't think enough people know about that. Absolutely. And your iPhone really is good enough. That back camera slays. Honestly, it's a slay.
And what do you think is like core characteristics someone needs to have to flourish in this industry? Because I think there's a lot of negativity involved, a lot of backlash. Like, what do you think, in order to flourish, that someone needs?
I think you really, if you want to step into the industry, you really have to be, you're going to have to be consistent, because you can't just post every now and again and expect people to engage with you. So consistency, I always find that showing up on my stories almost every single day, just,
it gives that personal
chatting
touch.
Nonsense, like, and just being like my true authentic self. People really like relate to that, and I feel like people, if anyone's watching now, like, they know, like, I'm always like replying to people, like, we always chatting shit in my DMs, like, it's just, so I would say consistency in what you're doing. I wouldn't say it's really important to like niche down these days, because I feel like I mean, it's good to have like a starting point. So I always like gravitate back towards beauty and makeup. But, you know, I have branched out into a lot of different things these days. So like, you know, every now and then I spark a DIY. Like, I love a good DIY. I love a good, like, you know, hair care. Like, I do pretty much everything these days. So I would say consistency and being authentically yourself, it really draws people to you.
I also think having a little bit of a backbone, not letting negativity go straight to your head. I think in the beginning it must have been super tough to deal with, you know, haters. There's always going to be. There's going to be those that are hating you for doing too much, hating you for not doing enough, and being real and raw. I think something that attracts people to your profile, just from my personal opinion, is how real and authentic you are. You're not here pretending to be something you're not. What you offer on your socials is who you are.
Yeah, it was a little bit tough in the beginning, like, not gonna lie, just because I was in high school, so I was like at a very young, impressionable age, and obviously any negative comment, like, it knocks you down so much harder than what it does now. Now I'm just like, okay, well, that's your opinion, deal with it. Like, it's not my problem, you got that opinion. But back then, yeah, it was difficult, but I just kind of learned to just block it out.
Yes.
Because it's weird. You'll get like 1,000 comments saying, wow, you're doing so good, you're doing so great. One people will say, this video sucks.
And that's the one
that you're focusing on.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I just learned that these days, just delete and block. Delete and block.
Absolutely.
Like, if you want to be negative, then just get out of my space. Like, it is what it is.
And what would you say has been the most incredible brand to work with? Like, on the top of your list, I know it must be hard to choose.
I've worked with so many incredible brands, so I'm not going to be like one is better than the other because each of them are unique. But a few of like my favorite campaigns that I've done. So I think it was 2022. I did like this really cool shoot with Revlon in Cape Town. It was like, I'm not sure if you've seen that like white concrete place. Yes. It's like far out.
It's stunning. Like, gives you
I don't know what area it is
now.
I'm trying to think about it. I think the place, it's like a weird name. Anyways, we did a shoot there, and it was like, the craziest part for me when doing that shoot with Revlon was like the people that I was surrounded with. Like, if I think that I used to watch those people when I wasn't even an influencer,
like
and now I'm standing here shooting with you guys as one of the models. It was insane. And then I also recently partnered up with Sony, which was, I mean, when they sent me the email, I was like, what do you mean? Like, am I really good enough to
scam?
Is it real? Let me just do a little bit of a LinkedIn. Are you really the brand manager? So yeah, I love working with beauty brands the most, but branching out into different things is always,
it's exciting.
It's fun. It's exciting. It's a new challenge. So I was really nervous when I got that campaign because I was like, I'm not the tech girl. Like, I mean, I like a good new like camera or something, but I'm not the tech girl. But I've really enjoyed it. So it's been fun.
And I mean, you're sitting at the moment at 53,000 followers on Instagram, 24,000 subscribers on YouTube. What would you say was the pinnacle moment in your career where you popped off, where it made you, like, you went from small town J-Bay girl to like an influencer now?
I honestly don't even know. Like, I feel like it almost happens. It happened so gradually that it wasn't like a moment. But in 2019, like the year after I finished high school, I started obviously like having Blaze to like kind of just be the backbone and support me in that time. It was very nice to be able to like branch out into it fully, and like he allowed me that time to build my brand. So I really don't remember like a specific moment where I was like, yo, this is like,
it's more about the grind,
but it definitely, I feel like after COVID and during COVID, a lot more people were on their phones because everyone was stuck inside. So it definitely helped with like growing because the views were higher. People were watching, new people were discovering you because they were bored. So I think as much as we hated that time, it kind of helped for us a little bit, to be honest.
Yes. And I mean, recently you got married last year. How has the married life been treating you?
You know, we've been together for so long, so it's like same old, but it's definitely nice to like kind of have it not over, because I mean it's a special day, but it's out of the way.
It's a
like,
milestone.
It's a milestone that we've like hopped, like that we've come over, and it's been great. Like,
that's amazing. And speaking of Blaze, how has like being on social media and being such a big presence affected your relationship? Do you think that it has in any way, shape or form?
I don't really think so. Blaze doesn't really like being on camera. Like, it's if he doesn't have to be, he won't be. Like, I always have to force him to be a part of campaigns. So whenever you see Blaze on my feed, just know that he doesn't want to be there. It took some negotiations, but yeah, it hasn't really, like, I keep my social media like to one side, and
it's
then
more professional.
my life, so like it's my job. So I mean, sometimes I do spend a little bit more time on
Yes.
Instagram than I
Yes.
probably should, but
There is that fine line
Yeah.
where your social life will overlap with your work, because at the end of the day you are showing your true
Yes,
self
true.
in that sense on social media, and
Yeah.
Blaze does feature a big part in
Yes.
that. But there is that nice like breakaway where if you
Definitely,
do decide
yeah.
something personal in your life, it doesn't need to go
yeah,
online.
not everyone knows
Yes.
everything.
And
but
it's really special that you have a partner that supports you through
Yes.
this all, because I think
Yeah,
there
I'm very
are
lucky.
quite a few people that battle with that, you know, having a partner that doesn't understand you and stuff. And would you say that there has been times where you've maybe wanted to walk away from this career choice?
No, I
set
don't know.
on it.
I love it. Like, it's, if there's anything that feels like it's meant for me, it's being an influencer. Like, I just love showing up in my stories and just talking nonsense all day. Like, sometimes I'm actually like, yo, you actually need to stop now for the day. Like, now it's enough. You posted a lot of stories. I don't know. I really enjoy it. I do maybe see myself not stepping away, but just doing less work and maybe doing more like stuff that I want to do, and potentially starting a business. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever stop though. I'll just be more selective with who I work with.
And with regards to your wedding, is there anything that you would look back at now and wanted to change? If there was something, I think, you know, every bride has like a few things they're like, oh, I wish I did this differently, or
I don't know. I mean, I wish I didn't knock over the champagne tower.
that was the most iconic part of your entire wedding.
The fact that everyone thought that I planned it.
That was Blaze's grand. The epitome. She was so savage. She was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the champagne tower was one, because I would have liked to have had a glass of champagne without glass in it. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think that there's anything I would have changed. I wouldn't have wanted a bigger wedding. I wouldn't have wanted a smaller wedding. Like, I feel like it was perfectly suited for Blaze and
Yes.
I. We're very like chilled, laid back people. Like, we didn't do a lot of the formalities.
Yes, it was lovely.
It was like such a chill. Like, there was no first dance.
Yes.
There was, I mean, the speeches went on for way too long. But there were people that weren't supposed to speak that just stood up and took the mic.
They were living their best life.
I was like, hey guys, wrap it up. But yeah, I really wouldn't have changed anything.
And the amounts of people there was quite an intimate wedding. It wasn't a very, very large. Was there anyone that was like, you don't have to name names, but just yes or no, was there some people that were maybe a bit salty that they weren't on the guest list?
Not that I know of. I feel like people that were there knew why they were there.
Yes.
We don't, Blaze and I aren't really like the kind of people that have like massive friendship groups. So it was, a lot of the wedding was family. Like, majority of the wedding was family. But yeah, there was no one that I can think of that probably would have been salty that they're not there. And if they were, then I don't...
Too bad.
Sorry, but I didn't know.
And your honeymoon looked incredible. Incredible.
Every single time I look back on photos, I'm like, I want to go back.
And like you said,
amazing.
traveling is a big thing for you now in
Yes.
2024. Where's the next spot that you guys are going?
We're going to go to Zanzibar.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And how long are you guys going to be
Only
there for?
7 days, because it's just around the corner, yeah. But yeah, I'm very excited. I just love a good tropical holiday.
It's stunning. Beautiful.
Best, honestly.
And in future, this year, big goals that you want to achieve, something that's really on your bucket list?
I am starting my own business this year. Like, I've been wanting to do it, but last year, obviously, there was a lot going on, the wedding, honeymoon.
Yeah.
Like, I bought a new car as well. So I'm not going to say what the business is yet, because I'm still trying to get my ducks in a row, but I am starting a business this year, and hopefully it's going to be sooner than I think.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Like, I've been so scared. I don't know why. Like, I think it's the fear of like
the fear of
the
failure.
fear of failing. But then again, I'm gonna regret it if I don't do it, because then I don't know if it actually just like succeeded.
Yes. No, definitely.
I'm very excited.
That's amazing. And I see you're going to be an auntie.
I am.
How incredible.
Well, I'm excited as well. I'm glad it's not my own child.
Yeah.
But I'm excited that I can give it back.
That's
but
incredible.
I'm super keen to be an
When's their
aunt.
baby due?
I think March. I'm not sure on the exact date, but it's
That's
now.
incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
It's literally like,
Did you have any suspicions? Was it a total surprise?
well, I kind of knew from the moment she knew.
Oh,
so
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. And your mom, she must be over the moon.
Super excited. Everyone's excited to finally have like a baby in the
Yes.
family, because we've all been like holding back for so long.
Oh,
But
sweet.
super keen.
That is so exciting. Is there any questions from the group chat?
I think, Chad, if there's any questions, we're going to open up. I've got a question for Sailor. Do you ever see yourself branching out? Not really branching out, so it's more beauty related, but to take that influencer status and partner with, say, brands or companies outside of, let's say, the beauty space, because Sony, for instance, that's more like tech camera and stuff, but something that's completely different to, let's say, that the space you're currently in.
I don't know. I think I would. It would depend what the opportunity was. But if I could find a way to align it like with how I kind of create content, because I feel like if it's something that just doesn't make sense, I'd be like maybe not. But if I could see it like something that I use or something that would fit into my life, then definitely.
That's amazing. Because
I'm always open
realistically,
to new.
yes, you want to be able to like market it in a way that's realistic to your lifestyle.
Yes, no,
because people
100%.
will pick up immediately like if this is not something Sailor would use.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting. I want to do a car partnership campaign. I feel like I'm so suited for it. I love cars. I freaking love driving a new car.
We're manifesting it for 2024.
I'm manifesting. Hopefully it's Ford. But I'm manifesting for this year doing like a car collab. Even if it's a trade exchange. I'd be so keen for it. And that's something that's so different to what my niche is completely.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Jeez. And do you get a lot of DMs on a daily basis?
I do, especially if I post a lot of stories.
Yes.
I get a lot of people like chatting back and engaging back with me, which is really good for my engagement. So I do enjoy like posting a lot of stories.
Yes.
But yeah,
and do you find it hard to try and like mentally draining to get through so many messages in a day? And
I don't always respond to every single one of them because it's physically impossible for one human to. But a lot of the time, like I'm the kind of person I'll be walking around the house just wanting to DMs with a voice note. Yes. Like I respond to people that I've never met before, and I'll be tuning a voice note. Like I feel like it's more personal, and you can engage with me better when you feel like I'm actually engaged with you, because a message doesn't always
doesn't get the full message.
The full picture,
And how do you deal with haters, with negativity and stuff? Are you someone that takes it very personally? Are you able to like sort through it mentally? Like, what is your approach, especially to those watching who want to go into this industry? Not so much like maybe they don't have the traits, but they want to improve. They want to, how do you unbox and resolve like insecurities and hate and stuff?
It's very difficult because obviously with insecurities you're always comparing yourself to other creators and other people, so you just can't, like you really cannot look at other people and go, oh, I wish my stuff looked like that or I looked like that. So I try not to, and if there's people that, not that I mute a lot of people, but if there's accounts that like I want to show my support but like I can't always just view your stuff because it messes with me mentally, I'll just mute their posts and engage every now and again just to like not seem like I'm a bitch. But on the haters side of things, I feel like I don't get as much hate these days, which is nice.
It's refreshing.
But if you do one of those anonymous Q&As, they come for you good and proper.
We've got a few questions. So the first one is, how do you keep current, and where do you get your inspiration from?
Those are good questions. So the two questions were, where does Sailor get her current from?
No, how do you
stay relevant?
Oh.
How do you stay,
and where do you get your inspiration
from?
I feel like TikTok is a big thing these days. Like you're always scrolling on TikTok and you're always seeing what's relevant.
Yes,
I mean,
the latest songs.
Stanley Cup.
Yes.
If you don't have a Stanley Cup by
then
now.
who are you? Yes, where are you living under a rock?
I feel like staying relevant, being on social media really.
Yes.
And then I like to kind of take inspiration. I scroll a lot on Pinterest just for like inspo for videos and stuff. Or a lot of the times when I work, if I'm doing now a campaign with a brand, like they'll kind of send you a guideline of what they want and previous work that other people have done for them that they like.
Yes.
So then you kind of see how it was and put your own like spin on it. But yeah.
Sorry, what is the Stanley Cup thing? I know, but I saw
okay, but to be fair, I've got a Sheen cup. Mine is the Sheen cup.
What?
Chris, remember when we spoke about the Pinterest girl startup kit?
Yeah.
So Pinterest.
The beige Stanley cup.
Beige. Not a Stanley cup, right? This isn't a Stanley
No, that's a Sheen cup.
Yeah.
Let me show the
That's
chat.
a promo Stanley cup.
Oh, exactly. Okay.
So with the Stanley Cup, it's part of the Pinterest Girl Startup Kit. So neutrals, beige, black and white, chunky shoes,
chunky white sneaks,
sneakers,
hoodie over the shoulders,
big chunky earrings, minimal.
Because I saw on Twitter something about a lady that had how many Stanley Cups?
Stole
she stole like that. Okay.
Didn't she got arrested?
She got it. She saw a gap in the market. She was like, I'm going to sell these puppies.
Yeah. Good on her.
Then a question here, Sada, what does your typical day look like?
that's a good one.
Typical day in your life.
Okay, so I always start off my morning with my cat scratching my headboard. About 4:45. That's what goes down. Then I usually head to the gym first thing in the morning. It's just like my couple of hours of, chilling out, getting
Unwinding.
in a good, just mental health hour. Then I'll usually get home, get myself ready, and I usually have like a checklist that I'll do at the start of the week of all the content I need to do, what I need to edit, what I need to respond to. Because I also manage a whole bunch of makeup clients on the side
Yes.
as well, and that is a lot of admin. It's
It
back and
is.
forth, trial dates, like everything. So I usually do admin first, and then I'll get myself ready, and usually the getting ready part is like filming because it's part of the video.
Yes.
And then, I'll take like a good long break somewhere throughout the day somewhere.
Some
If it's a
time.
hot day, I'm going to the beach, sorry. Plans are cancelled, not working, I'll do it tomorrow. But yeah, I'll take like quite a long, like 11 o'clock to almost 2 o'clock lunch break. And then I'll end up editing in the afternoon. That's typically, and then Blaze gets home at 5 and then I ignore everyone in the world. That's how we do it.
As it should be.
Yeah.
And how do you manage your time with regards to campaigns? Like what to you is a very attractive campaign, like the criteria?
What do you mean?
So if multiple brands message you and they'd like you to do a campaign at the same time, around about the same date.
Well, that is always so difficult. Like, it's so hard to manage because a lot of the time the campaigns, like, they're like, these are the dates.
Yes.
But then it's never those dates.
Yes.
It's like always pushed out maybe by a month or a few weeks. So it's honestly very hard. I kind of wing it. I really wing it because you just never know. And then, I mean, I suppose if the brand doesn't really stick to their dates, they can't really expect you to
Absolutely.
wait the whole time. So usually I'll choose the brand that I align with the best. So if 2 different brands are there, I'll probably choose the one that I use the most because it's more authentic to me.
Yes.
So yeah.
Wait, a question from you. So you edit your own videos?
Yes.
Okay, what do you use?
I use Final Cut Pro. Or if I'm editing on my phone, I use CapCut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Keith, I don't know this man. Etienne saying,
Etienne.
I don't know if he's saying something negative or positive. He's saying Sada's brows look on fleek, and guys, the only reason I say that is because my girlfriend does lashes and brows.
Oh, so he knows the laminated brow laugh.
I laminated them 2 days ago.
Stunning.
I'm a dad. Like, I don't know what's happening. Okay, what advice would she give to women who live daily below their potential?
Oh, what advice she would give to ladies who are living daily below their potential. So if girls are sitting on their potential, what advice? Girl bloom.
Start
Before you're ready.
Yeah, like, I mean, find something that you're passionate about and start doing it, because you're never going to know if you're going to succeed if you just don't, you have to stop caring what people think. You really have to, because if you do, you're never going to achieve anything. People love to hate you if you're succeeding, and they love to hate you if you're not succeeding.
Absolutely.
So just do it.
Another
Ignore it, don't do
question,
it.
who is your favorite South African content creator?
Your favorite South African content creator?
Well, guys, I have so many, because they're like all my friends. Can't choose. But I have a few that I feel like I look up to. I love watching Michlali. I love her energy. I freaking love her. And I love watching Jessica. Jessica's also, I feel like our content is like almost like on the same vibes,
Yes,
like that
same
blonde
aesthetic,
girl
yes.
aesthetic. And who else do I? There's so many.
I think Kantara and you are quite close
Kantara and
as
I
well.
are super close.
She's also so beautiful.
I love her stuff. She's so good at makeup. It's actually insane.
It's insane. She's
But I have so
incredible.
many people that like I'm obsessed with.
Yes.
Like if I had to sit here and name everyone, we'd be out the whole day. We'd be out till 5.
And what would you say is the community like within influencers? Do you think, is it put on a show that everyone's friendly and supports each other, or do you think there's a lot of undercover, like animosity against each other for succeeding?
I feel like there's definitely the people that you'll gravitate towards that match your energy. I mean, I suppose with anything, not even just the influencer industry, there's always like cliques.
Yes.
And there's always going to be that. So you just have to find the people that are like
They're your tribe.
I always gravitate towards the laid back people.
Yes.
Like we are chilled. Like we're not looking for any like drama. Like that's I rarely get involved in any like tea, to be honest.
Yes, it's better. It's safer.
Yeah, it's safer. Like I don't vibe with it. I don't like drama, so I just gravitate towards the chilled peeps.
That's nice,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you have a community. I mean, you guys travel together often. I see some of you are often on the same campaigns and stuff. It just makes it like a family environment.
No, definitely, yeah.
And what would you say would be your, I know you already said the car one would be like a dream campaign, but what is something that you would be obsessed with if you got this as an opportunity?
Okay, if I'm thinking like really far into the future, it would be after I started my business and my first campaign that I run, with obviously what my business is, which I'm not going to mention just yet.
Yes.
That would be like to run my first ever campaign, like as the brand owner. That would be flippin' cool. And then I would say another brand. I feel like, it's so weird because I feel like I've been so fortunate to have worked with all the brands I've wanted to work with already. Like obviously there's the international makeup brands, but I don't think that that's something, I don't know, I feel like it would be like you working through one of the distributors in South Africa for that brand. Like, I've worked with Fenty Beauty, NARS, like, it's incredible, but obviously it's not like a direct just yet. But yeah, I feel like I've been very fortunate to achieve a lot of the goals that I set out for myself with the brands that I want to work with.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Super grateful.
Amazing. And your family, have they supported your journey from the beginning?
Always. Yeah. I think my mom was a little bit worried at the start. She's like, I don't know what this child's going to do. She doesn't smark the books. She's not interested in school. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. But then I feel like once I started like receiving free stuff in high school, she's like, okay, wait, maybe this can work.
This can work. This could be a thing.
We'll see where it goes. And then I got my first paid partnership in grade 11.
Incredible.
Insane. I couldn't believe it. I was still like, is this real? So then I feel like my family was like, okay, cool. I think she's going somewhere.
Yes.
I think it's going to be okay. Because I've never been the book smart girly. Like, I've always been the physical,
more creative,
hands-on, breaking
stuff,
busy with stuff. Like that's always been me.
And do you have any hobbies at the moment? Because makeup is, some people will class it as a hobby, but it's your career. So what would you say at the moment are your like favorite go-to, the ways to unwind, relax, like your escapes?
At the moment, high water pressure spraying my deck is such a fun experience.
It looks amazing. and you're doing it completely DIY at home.
Yeah, it's like so soothing. But as much as I'm not in like the fitness space, I really love going to the gym. It's something that I'm really like passionate about and I enjoy it so much.
You're preaching to the choir, girl.
No, I know. Like
that you get from the gym is next level. You can't compare.
You really can't. So
it's so soothing.
I love going to the gym. If I could, I'll go for 2 hours a day easily. Like it won't even feel like it's been 2 hours. Like I love it. But other hobbies, lying on the beach,
tanning.
Just being on the beach, or a DIY. I love a good DIY.
You guys have renovated the house a lot. It looks stunning. It's really beautiful. It's come a long way.
We do a DIY style though.
And with regards to your fitness journey and your health journey, I know you've been for a while now really focused on like a healthier lifestyle and just healthier choices in general. Do you at the moment follow like a strict plan of any sort, or are you more so just like conscious decisions to be healthy?
Conscious decisions to be healthy. I feel like I get very overwhelmed when I'm on a very, very strict kind of path. It makes me just fall right off. I'm like, no, not doing this, not happening. So at the moment, just enjoying it. I really have just been enjoying it. And I feel like I've seen like more results, just putting less pressure on myself. Just not caring about it so much, and I've just enjoying it.
I think more so like buying healthy ingredients and just surrounding yourself with healthy
eating
stuff.
Better quality food. Definitely, it makes such a difference.
It just removes that temptation as well of like possibly binging.
No, Blaze still has a snack drawer. Don't worry.
I've got a question here. Biggest do and biggest don'ts in a relationship.
Biggest do's and biggest don'ts in a relationship. And I think you can mold it towards maybe your lifestyle, because I mean you and Blaze are very different people, but your dynamic really works well.
I feel like one of the biggest don'ts is never like speak ill of your partner to other people, because I feel like it's like why?
Yes.
People don't need to know everything. And then one of the biggest do's is always prioritize each other. Think of the other person before you go and make a decision, and ask them their opinion, because I suppose it's different if you're just boyfriend and girlfriend, but once you're married, like,
Yes,
you need
every
that for the
decision affects
dynamics.
that person.
Yeah, 100%, totally. So yeah. those
And have
two.
you ever turned down a brand campaign because they just offered you something that you felt like went against your morals?
Yes. I've turned down a few campaigns with brands that I don't enjoy, and then, well, not that I don't enjoy the brand, but just the product that they were wanting me to promote, I've turned down. And then I've turned down a few shoots before because I think it was like underwear shoots, and it's not really something
Not
I'm
your
comfortable.
vibe,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's not something I'm comfortable with. So
Have you ever had issues with brands not paying you?
never not paying me, but definitely delayed, and very delayed. So yeah, you kind of just, it is what it is. I feel
And
like it's with that
yeah.
with every industry,
Would you
especially
be-
when you're self-employed and you're freelance.
Yes,
No one
then
wants
they
to ever
take
pay you.
advantage.
Yeah.
Would you be able to give us a ballpark range of the biggest campaign you've ever done money-wise? I feel like it's a juicy question that everyone low-key
It
wants to
is,
know.
it
It's a
is.
very personal question, so you don't have to answer. But if you,
SARS is not watching. So.
It's okay. So now I'm compliant. I did a campaign once in, I think it was 2021. I did a campaign with, Fashion Nova's
yes,
makeup brand.
yes,
So obviously they paid me $1. So it was obviously
much greater
much
than
greater
a
than what you'd get paid.
czar
in
salary
yeah.
or
So
payment.
it ended up being 75k.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
I could do with 75k. But it's amazing.
But I used it to renovate my bathroom.
Yes, but it's amazing to see what potential is out there. If people really
Yes.
graft, like this is real. This is
Yeah.
real life. And I think that's why, like, coming back to why I asked that question was, it's also a motivating point for people. Like,
Yes,
do this. If this is what you want to do, get up and go. Like you said, start before you're ready, because you can make a life out of this. This is realistic.
Yeah.
And there's no age limit on
No,
being an
not at all.
influencer.
You can literally start whenever. You don't need to be young. Like, it's obviously a bonus that
Yes.
I've started so young, because I've been in the industry now for a good couple of years.
Because
so I
your
understand the
followers
industry.
are aging with you.
Exactly. Like, that's exactly what I say all the time. It's like, there's always going to be people that are going to follow you, because now everyone that's my age, eventually we're going to go into having babies, and everyone's
It's going to
like,
be the mom life. It's
what
going to be the
crap
mom
is
product.
that? It's
Exactly.
gonna, like, you know,
Yes.
so it's going to be, it's always going to progress with age. So it's never too late.
Question for me and Keeks and Mo from us. So we obviously also trying to build a brand, not necessarily an influencer, more like your brand in your niche. So what tips can you give us in terms of building that? And yeah, this is us, because we obviously trying to build a brand. So
Yeah.
what tips can you give us?
I feel like what you guys are doing has really been good. Like, I feel like I'm always seeing your stuff.
Okay.
So staying consistent with that, I think, is definitely, it will eventually pay off. I feel like it took so long for me to actually like start seeing like the results. Like, it would be like here and there, but
Yes.
now it's consistent. But it's been like, how many years now?
5 years. 6 years. Since we did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2024 this year.
You were just
Just
consistent.
consistently
Okay.
doing it, even when it feels like no one's watching.
Just
So
keep
was-
at
so-
it.
so-
Just keep at it.
So was there a point where you like just blew up, or
During
was
COVID.
it like during COVID?
When everyone was
Okay.
busy on their phones.
And do
My
you-
makeup
When the
tutorials
pandemic-
would get hundreds of thousands of views, and I was like, what is going on? Then I was like, oh, everyone's at
Yes.
home. They're on their
And would you
phones.
say that paid ads was a good tool to use to help push the engagement?
I think it depends. I'm not sure how. I've never really used them. I know a lot of brands sometimes will boost my posts from their end.
Yes.
But I personally have never used them, so I'm not sure if you can like filter it to certain target audiences or not.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a bad idea.
And is there specific tools that you use to help boost your posts? Like specific filters that you use, specific hashtags, like a little cheeky insight to someone that like
It's always best to use trending sounds,
trending sounds.
because those sounds just I mean,
It pops up. I mean, the whole
And-
Saltburn movie, we're only but hearing Murder on the Dance Floor.
exactly. And I mean, what was the other one with? What was it now? I can't think of it.
I know surround
There was-
sound is
there
like
was
very
so
popular now.
many, and I feel like always using those trending sounds.
Yes,
There's like
yes.
lists of them and they're still going to this day. Oh, it was everyone on their Euro summer using Radio by Lana Del Rey.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
yes.
That song was just everywhere.
And what type of content of yours gets the most engagement and views?
Makeup tutorials.
Makeup
Straight back to my
tutorials.
OG niche. Everyone loves the makeup tutorials. Like it's so crazy because it's something that this year I'm focusing a lot
Yes.
more on. Last year I felt like I kind of fell off the makeup
Yes.
tutorial bandwagon, but now I'm pushing a
I've
lot more.
got
to
a
makeup tutorials.
very controversial one to
Oh, here we
ask
go.
both of you.
Okay.
So obviously,
I'm not answering anything I don't want to.
No. So OnlyFans has become like
Oh, goodness.
almost like but here's my thing though. OnlyFans have almost become like normal. It's like just like it's now like
Yes.
like almost like drop shipping. Like you almost expect somebody that's
have an
been looking
OnlyFans.
to have
Yes.
an OnlyFans. Like, what do you guys firstly think of OnlyFans? And then secondly, my question is like, do you think it's an acceptable side?
Okay, so what do we think of OnlyFans and do we think it's acceptable?
You go first.
All right. So being someone that is in the fitness industry and that does post a lot of body content, I do feel that there is a line between body content for the sake of aesthetics and appreciation for the hard work, and then there is what I deem to possibly be a bit too much.
Yeah.
So it depends on the person and it depends on their reasons that they do it for. I can't judge someone that has decided that that is what she or he wants to pursue. Everyone is allowed to do, what makes them happy. But I do feel like it does come with a cost.
Yeah.
And I think if you are someone that is okay with that and can stomach what comes with it, then go for it.
Yeah.
I will not be someone's friend or not support someone if that is the decision they've
100%.
made. But it's not something I personally see myself doing.
No, I feel like my answer is exactly the same. You get your bag, but it's not something I
Yeah,
would do.
100%. I support you, but we're not on this road together. Like,
Yeah.
it's your road.
You do you, I'll
You
do
do
me.
you, 100%. Like, yeah, it is a difficult one, especially when families are involved and stuff like that. It just depends. There's a fine line, I suppose.
You guys are fine with me crashing.
Go for it, Chris. Now the chat can
Chad,
hear you.
sorry man, I'm gonna drop in here because I'm asking the juicy questions.
Don't get me cancelled, please.
No, we won't. Okay, Sailor, over to you. I don't think we've had Sailor's answer. Let me just drop this a little bit.
Two?
To that question, she said it was
Oh, no, I
basically the
agreed.
same of what I
agreed fully
said.
with-
Okay.
You get your bag, girl. Like, you go for it. But for me,
It's not my journey.
It's not my, Love that journey for you, but for me, it's not going to work.
It's weird though because the thing with OnlyFans is like myself and Keegan actually wanted to do like almost I wouldn't say react, but it's like almost placing bets. Like if you see a profile, okay, Keegs, do you rate OnlyFans or
When are you
not?
going to subscribe?
No.
So what the boys like to do, they like to look at a girl's profile based on what she posts and be like,
Does she have a
does she have a
OnlyFans
link? Is
or not?
there a link tree link? Because I feel like with Instagram at the moment, there's people are posting a lot more intimate photos, and it's more,
Which is crazy because then your makeup tutorial with a copyrighted song will get taken down.
but
your
not
bikini pic won't.
soft porn. Yeah, so it's like you look at it and it's like this. Does this girl do this? She might as well. You get paid for it if you're going to put it out there. At
Yeah,
least.
might as well.
Yeah.
All right, okay. No, we'll see if there's any more questions, Chad. Sorry, man, I had to ask that because obviously we don't have a lot of ladies on the pod. Sorry if I missed the answer to my question. How did Sailor go about getting paid partnership? I think she did go through that, Jason. Just scroll back a little bit or rewatch the pod. Chad, I think we're gonna have say 2 or 3 more questions here for Sailor and Kate. I think you guys did very well. They don't let the looks fool you. They were a little bit nervous before we started,
I was extremely nervous. I was very honest about that.
but they looked very cool, calm, and collected. Now you guys did very, very well. So I think we're just going to wait for a couple of more questions. Chad, what I do want to say is, and I think we've spoken about the value of building a personal brand because it really goes beyond, for instance, where you go next. So let's say, for instance, Sailor is doing a lot of, say, makeup tutorials, a lot of lifestyle. But you can take that brand at a later stage, as Caitlin also said, you grow with your audience. where I don't know whether you want to have kids, but then all of a sudden you start working with, say, kids brands or baby brands, and later on even maybe into life coaching, for instance. So there's a lot of value in this current day and age, even if you don't necessarily want to do something on your own.
Yes.
But to build that brand, because it opens up so many doors for you to start your own business like you're going to do now. So we will keep a keen eye on that as well. But you can literally do anything. Myself and Keegan talked about it, where if you've got a brand, you can do consulting, you can do drop shipping, you can sell your own product.
The opportunity for collaboration is endless.
Yeah, that's the beauty with having a brand. And I've said it myself, I was very bleak years ago when I had the opportunity to build my own brand. I rather built other companies up, and you walk away after a couple of years and you don't have a brand, and that brand value is completely gone. Amy Eels is saying, so proud of both of you ladies. Yeah, guys, I think they did very well. Keegs, any questions from you? Keegs has been very quiet. He's usually the one with the questions. Yeah, we need to ask some juicy ones here. Come on.
Here it comes.
All right, what's up, Chad? So I think, Sailor, we're going to ask this one. So we all know now you are married to a hunk called Blaze. But the real question is, I think we were talking about how, like, one of your hobbies is being on the beach and that. And even though you have those boundaries in place, like you said, you won't be doing like underwear stuff and those things. How do you deal with those internet trolls and guys that, even though you're posting those bikini photos, we all know those guys that step over the line. So someone like you, I'm sure you must get a lot of them. How do you deal with that type of stuff?
I actually don't. My following is like 90-something% women. So, I mean, every now and again I'll have like a random ass over, but I'll just delete and block. It's not, it really isn't something that's, because my page is only every now and again there's like a beach photo. So, surprisingly, back in the past I used to get a lot of them before I niched down to like makeup and beauty. But I feel like a lot of the men that do follow me are like friends. Or
and
friends
then it's more support.
And it's more kind of like supportive than it is like, ooh, look at this chick, you know. So I'm very grateful that my following is like 90-something%.
I think it does create quite a difficult space, especially for a woman who's trying to grow on Instagram and grow on socials, when you do constantly get these people that are over, like, stepping.
When I first started because obviously it's always natural that there's more men following. So when I first started like with the whole, you know, putting more effort into becoming like a content creator, my male following was higher. Was way higher. And then I worked so hard to obviously like make it that the woman following is higher. And it's, I rarely get it, which is fantastic.
That's amazing.
Mo,
what are you doing in my DMs?
Chad is asking, you should ask a question, Mo. Me? Come on, The Chad wants something juicy out of you.
Am I the...
It's your turn, most.
Chad is always the naughty guy. Chad, okay, so there you've got it. Not a lot of guys on there. We actually had this conversation in the office. So we were looking at my following. So my wife, Lifia, said, okay, if you're one, I think I had like 4% ladies. Keegs had like 25%.
What's yours?
And then,
mine is actually quite equal.
Is
so
it?
It's like 48% men, like 52% women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's when we said, okay, Katia, let's see yours. There's obviously like 95% dudes. And
I think one thing I wish Instagram would bring out is that we can see who saves our posts.
I actually don't think I want to know.
Because, I would love to know the 30-something people saving a booty photo. Like, what is this used for, my bro? Please tell me. share for us all.
Mo, any questions from you?
Honestly,
Well, really?
Let me think. Juicy? No. Damn, guys, put me on the spot. Give me a sec, let me think.
Okay. Let's see if there's any more questions. Omar Sol, yes, I would love that. Okay. Amy Eels. Is that somebody that you know, Amy Eels? Is it any one of you?
I chat to my DMs all the time.
Amy Eels, are you?
Yes, Amy. Yes, Amy's a sweetheart.
Really?
Yes, her and I speak often. She's very sweet.
Good to have you here. Sailor, obviously we were talking about what we're busy with here, and just your first impression. You actually the first guest that we've had on outside of trading, because the entire idea with the podcast is we spend so much time talking financial markets and that, and we really want to branch out a little bit to talk about people that are in different spaces that's leading in terms of their field. You're obviously one of them. What was your first impression of what we've been doing here? Is there anything any advice that you would critique us on to say you guys can do this better?
Maybe areas of improvement.
Yeah, just from your side.
Guys, putting me on the spot.
No, we must.
But that's how we grow.
I don't know. Like I don't know anything about the training world. Let me just say.
Read our production.
Sorry.
Read our production.
What is it? How do you rate our
Sailor
production?
said she was impressed with our setup.
Oh, really?
I mean, to be fair, this is better than my setup.
Okay.
And I don't do a podcast full time, but I record videos full time. But I mean, the place is stunning. Great location, and what you guys do online is also great. Not that I know anything about what you're talking about.
I'm gonna put
I'm always liking it.
Guys, I'm gonna put both of them on the spot, Keeks, and because eventually this channel is gonna merge into 2G's Trading. Keeks, are we gonna ask them to become the host of the South African BFFs?
The what?
BFFs.
So Chris
Barstool
wants us to break, or wants the female part of things to break off into being, to take a hold of that industry. Because like I told you earlier, there's no one in South Africa that I know of, females, that have their own podcasts, that have their own chat room section for women and for gossip and for, the latest things that are happening around us. So I said to Chris that it would be something to look into in the future, of what do you think, if girls had to do that, do you think it's something that would do well in a place like South Africa, or do you think that it's not
I
really
think it would,
missing?
because to be honest, when I'm bored, I'm always listening to all the gossip of Australian influencers or influencer podcasts. I'm always listening to them. I've always got a podcast out of my car, so I do think it is something that's
lacking.
Yeah, just not that it's gonna be gossip, but I mean,
just a chat room.
Yeah.
What's happening, and especially talking about celebrities, there's always juicy stuff happening in the world and stuff. So to have a space where people can share opinions and share objectives and stuff like that.
I do think that there's a lack of podcasts in South Africa, especially women podcasts in South Africa.
While we're on that, so firstly, you're from Port Elizabeth. You literally just live 60 k's in
just
J Bay.
live that way.
But
to the pretty beach.
But can we agree that Port Elizabeth is always behind?
Oh, we are so behind.
Always.
Honestly,
we're playing catch up permanently.
But why?
I feel too dressed up today.
But why do you guys rate that? Is because I've actually spoken to a few people, and I think it also started years ago with Gareth Cliff saying Port Elizabeth is the armpit of South Africa.
I think for me, my opinion is that no one's in a rush. If you go to Joburg and Cape Town, everyone's busy, everyone's doing something. Yeah, everyone's I'll wait for someone to do it and then I'll copy them. Or, I'll wait for someone to come up with an idea and I'll kind of make my own mix on that. Yeah. Instead of being go-getters and being this is missing, we need this.
That's definitely the difference.
Yeah, and half the time when people do that, it doesn't last you because
no one wants to support
it's a fad. Yeah, people are that's nice. I'll go there to take a selfie the first time, and then okay, I've tried it. It's either too expensive, it's not for me. Everyone wants to support local, but not when there's a local price tag.
Yeah, and here's my thing. When Caitlin said, "Hey, listen, I've got this influencer friend," the first thing I asked her, is she in Cape Town? And she's like, "No, in J-Bay." I'm like, "What? J-Bay? How?" I think also PE has almost accustomed ourselves to always be like this, that black sheep in the South African family.
If not PE, it's KZN.
Yeah, we never get international shows here, like concerts. It's usually everywhere else except PE. Everything good misses PE, and it's almost like we accept it. We don't have a Starbucks, we don't have a Krispy Kreme, we don't have a lot of things, and it's I almost feel like PE people want famous brands to fail, or anything that you do outside
I don't know what it is.
It's if you bring, let's say for instance, a Starbucks here, the PE people will make sure
they'll
it fails.
Post an Instagram story the first day, but then
a perfect example was Tiger's Milk.
Yeah.
Tiger's Milk banged, so full, had to make a reservation. You got there, no free tables, but the hate. I didn't get my drink in time. This wasn't right. There was a pot plant on my table. I couldn't see the person in front of me. Just move the fucking pot plant. Yeah. But unfortunately, that's what it is. There's always
Yeah.
complaining and negativity.
I think it's
I think
like
that's
small town
PE's problem, the
mentality.
negativity.
Yeah,
Small town mentality.
Sailor, I don't know if you're a foodie.
I love food.
Really? What is your favorite meal?
Your indulgence.
I'm gonna
I've got a
go.
couple of favorite meals. I love a good pizza. I love a good pasta, and I also love a good like plate of tacos.
An interesting
sushi.
fact about Sailor, her parents, her mom, owns the Mexican in J-Bay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Stunning restaurant.
Okay.
Must try
I
if
would
you
recommend.
100%.
Non-biased opinion.
Does your mother have? Is she on Uber Eats? The restaurant.
No, we don't have Uber in J-Bay.
Is there no Uber Eats there?
We don't have Uber in
Are
J-Bay.
you
If
serious?
you want the food, you better drive for it.
It's like a walking distance from each other.
All right.
Well,
All
no,
right.
yeah.
I was like, oh, just exaggeration.
It's exaggeration. It's not that small.
All getting very deep here. Obviously, she knows what's the average age of a following. Do you work with youth or empower youth in any way? It's a very open. Yeah. I think the question should rather be what is the image you put out there, and what is the morals and the standard and the value like. So from some of the comments I've seen here, a lot of people saying they love you, all of this. You also spoke
Thanks.
about replying to DMs, and I think a lot of people, like you said, it's physically impossible to get to everybody, but just in the manner that you come across and how you speak to people and you put value on people, because ultimately I think sometimes we forget those followers, that is
People,
and the people that actually put you where you are
Yeah,
at.
there's a reason
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
where I am, yeah.
So sometimes I think influencers forget that, and I'm not saying you forgot that, but I think all it comes back to, how does the person come across? How do they speak to people? From the comments we can see it's positive. So I think more when it comes to empowering, that is to show what is the standard of being an influencer. You got it right, Caitlin. They just want to complain. Yolandi Stewart, I know, is from Port Elizabeth. Chad, I think we're going to almost wrap it up. Caitlin, was there anything? Okay, wait. Keeks.
Oh, goodness.
Keeks,
Oh, no.
talk to me.
When he gets
Yeah.
a cheeky
He's been brewing
smile.
that one.
Okay, wait, hold on. I was thinking about this one now. Just from like what I see on your Instagram, like your stories and that, you almost give this, as you want to say, that typical Australian girl influencer vibes.
The clean girl aesthetic.
Yeah, but now my thing is also there's a
Clean
lot
girl
of,
aesthetic with a foul mouth.
but I wouldn't say you're a tomboy in a way. But like on your stories, you seem to have a good understanding of what's going on in sports. So is that purely because you just sit there because of Blaze, or do you actually know like what's going on with UFC and
No,
soccer?
I do. No, so I mean, obviously, it's only because I get forced to watch it. So I mean, I'd rather get into it and understand what's going on than
Then just sit,
just sit
yeah,
there
be
and do
bored,
nothing.
yeah.
So it's become like a tradition that every single time there's a UFC fight, like I think for the last 2 years or something, we make a Christmas bed in the lounge, because it's usually at like 4 o'clock in the
Yes,
morning.
always.
So, and then we watch the UFC. It's like UFC fight night, date night.
Date
you know?
night.
Like, and then soccer, obviously, even though he supports a losing team, which we're not going to talk about.
Touchy topic.
He's going to chew me for saying that.
He's a Man U supporter. I'm in the
But-
same boat. So
Yeah, okay, well, you know,
yeah.
it's been in a couple of years of,
Sheesh.
A roughness.
yeah, roughness, but shame. Yeah, I tag along and I watch because otherwise I'll just be bored.
Sorry, just a little bit on, obviously Caitlin and Keegan's friends, but what does Blaze do for work? Just
Blaze is an accountant.
Okay.
Which you would never say if you had to meet him and actually engage with him at all. Like, people don't believe him half the time, but he's an accountant. And a lot of the time people actually think, like, because they know he's an accountant by my stories and they meet him in, like, real life.
That it's going to be like this very...
You're
like,
actually cool. Like,
Yeah.
like, I did not expect you to have a personality. And I'm like, what do you... Like, I only know Blaze with having,
No,
like,
Blaze
the
is
biggest
the laugh of the
personality in
party.
room. Always. Like, he's always the laugh of the party. So I think it's... Yeah.
I don't know if the Chad thinks that you guys don't drink alcohol, but Amy Eels asking, what is your favorite go-to non-alcoholic drink? You can give us the non-alcoholic
Contemplate.
and the alcoholic one.
I like a good Coke Zero. And then, yeah, I've got a couple of favorite drinks there.
But that comes with the territory of your mom owning a Mexican restaurant.
I love a good cocktail and also Prosecco. Aperol Spritz,
A young
a
Mog.
Caipirinha, a Mog. I've got a lot of favorites. But
Etienne coming
I
out
smoke
with
it all.
water.
Very nice.
Ah, the Chad. All right, Keegs, any other questions? Ladies, how did you feel? How was it? Did it
Not
ease
too bad.
off?
It was a bit nerve-wracking in the
Yeah.
beginning because I felt like the questions, I knew what they were. So then I
Okay.
like rehearsed them in my head.
Yes. And it's always
But then-
difficult. You like hit a blank like
Yeah,
when you're
but-
under the pressure.
But yeah, it got so easy and so chill.
Have you done a podcast before or not?
No, never like a live podcast, and I don't
Okay.
often do lives because I don't know. I can't.
It's pressure,
I can't
yeah,
like
yeah.
cut it and then put only the part that I want in.
But
So
that's
it's a lot
exactly what I was saying earlier.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure, but yeah, it wasn't that bad. I've done voiceovers before for brands, which I absolutely sucked at because it was
Okay.
like I had to do like a conversational
Yes.
voiceover, but there was no one to talk
To.
Would you
So-
ever do a podcast again?
I think I
alive?
would. No, I
It's
really,
actually
like
fun.
it's actually not bad.
It's not so
if
bad.
if I just stop thinking about the fact that it's live,
Yes.
it's actually okay.
I think for me, that's what I've had to do. This is my first time doing this. And I've only been on
We've both
the...
done so well. We slayed this.
We slayed this. And I've been on the boys one once. And I said to Keegan, I was like, try not to look at myself the whole time in the monitor because you kind of want to make sure you're not doing something
Yeah.
funky. But at the same time, like I said to them, this is my first one doing this. And it's something I want to do. It's not about me at the end of the day. I'm not here to sit here to talk about me, to be the focus
Yeah.
on me. I want the person in the chair to be the focus. I
Yeah.
want their story to be
See,
told.
but that's what's hard for me because as much as I
You in
put
the
myself,
spotlight.
I'm in the spotlight, but I don't like being the center of attention. I'm not that person, which is so weird
Sure.
because my job is being the center of attention.
Sailor, so Caitlin wouldn't tell you this, but at the beginning of the year, so I told Caitlin, listen here, and here's my thing, as always, everybody that works here with me and with us, like my thing is always to try and get people to grow and like to break like any fear or something that they don't like doing, not in like a bad way, and then
It's growth.
and then I told Caitlin, listen here, we need to get you on camera, and
I was like, solid no.
but
Negative.
listen to this now. The first shot we did, I thought like she was very serious, and I still joked just to like almost break the ice
To
a little
break
bit.
the ice.
And I said, Caitlin, are you always this serious? And listen here, she was not happy.
I gave him the side arm and I sulked for the whole rest of the day because I was already stressed out of my tree that I had to be in the shots.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Chris, like, what is happening? Don't do this to me. And he's like, no, you're going to see, you're going to do this. You're going to run the podcast. It's not, I was like, this is not happening. Don't dream.
But now here you are.
And now here I am.
Growth.
And Chris, you know, we did the Vault Market, the Vault Funder
Commercial, yeah.
video the other day, and I had like a solid part I had to say. I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, what do you mean? And Chris was like, no, you have to. I'm like, no, what do you mean? And now looking
Too
back
much.
at it, like, I'm grateful I did it
Yeah.
because I want to put myself out there
Yes.
more. And like you said, the not caring what people think is what I'm trying to also get myself to. Because yes, I do bodybuilding. Yes, you know, I go on stage to be judged, but I don't have to speak.
Yeah.
And it's not a video. Like, it's there and it's done. I'm off the stage. I'm gone. But someone like you who's in the spotlight, who does stuff and has your stuff on socials,
Yeah.
to learn from you and get your advice on how to just put that aside, put the judgments aside, because at the end of the day, you can't take advice
Yeah.
or criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. If someone's
Exactly.
sitting there judging me for doing this, or oh my god, look how she looks, look at her hair, but you're not in my position doing this. You're watching on a computer screen.
Yeah. You don't even know. They don't even know who you are. Truly.
That's
And
it.
I don't think if we touched on this, but obviously where you starting off as an influencer, was there ever like I remember, I think it was 5 years ago when I did my first YouTube video, and it took me like 2 months. I like wrote a little script, I shot it, and I was like, no dude, you look like an idiot. What are you
Did you
doing?
write a script?
Yeah, no. So I did a video like on trading, and I shot it and I edited it, and afterwards I was like, no, I'm not putting this out. Was there also that fear of you putting something out where you almost looked at it too many times and it was never
Overthought
perfect?
it.
Well, when you edit the video, you watch it a million times over. So like everything you nitpicking. But I
Yes.
remember the first time I posted a YouTube video because I was determined to reach I'm not sure if it's still the same, but 1,000 and then a certain amount of watch hours. I think it's 4,000 watch
Yeah.
hours. I was like, every time I put out a video, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm cringing. And then I'd watch it and I'd be like, everyone at school's going to be watching
Yes.
this. Oh my gosh, they're going to be tuning me. I don't want to get made fun of. But thankfully, no one ever made fun of me to my face. But I think it's because of my personality. I come across
But
I think
there's
it's
also
the
that little bit
engagement.
of fear when you put that first video
No,
out.
there is. Like,
And-
you're putting yourself out there and you're opening up the room for everyone to absolutely
Tear
judge
you apart,
tear you
yeah.
apart.
So,
yeah.
so obviously you've got a very solid following on Instagram and then on YouTube as well. When did you start your YouTube channel?
The same time, like, yeah, grade 10, grade 11. I started.
Okay.
So
And-
20, what year is that?
And
2017?
Has that also been a grind to get the
You know what?
numbers
Yeah, it was definitely. I went through such trauma with my YouTube channel. I got hacked and my account was transferred away from me, like way back when. I think it was like 2019, and it was such a mission to get my channel back. But after that, then I was like, I'm so grateful to have it back. Like,
Yes.
and then I just continuously posted. But lately, I've really fallen off the YouTube train, and I really want to get back on it. But I just always feel like sometimes my life's a bit too boring and repetitive to post.
But I think
vlogs.
the YouTube Shorts will act in your favor because
Yeah.
basically your stories that you post like make it part of like a
Yes.
short almost. And
That's what I have
Anyways,
been, yeah,
yeah.
I've been considering it, but I
Yes.
just, another platform. TikTok is now the other one you have to focus on. It's overwhelming. Like, how do you focus on
Yes,
everything? There's just so
100%.
many platforms.
when the boys post like a reel, there I am in the morning, post on every social media. It's like repetitive and people are going to see the same thing, but you have that chance of possibly
Yeah.
reaching a different audience
On that side, yeah.
yeah.
Would you say if I told you now, Sailor, you can only blow up on one platform, would you rather blow up on YouTube or Instagram?
It's a difficult question because obviously with YouTube your videos make money, which if I'm blowing up, you know, it would be nice to make money off of content that I'm not getting paid to do. But I'm such a hoe for Instagram. I love Instagram. I could
Instagram
just
is
scroll all day. Tap
that would have been my
stories.
answer too. Like
But
Instagram is
I
great.
do really. I would love to try this year to get back onto YouTube and just.
Any
vlog a bit
any
more.
plans for so you do more vlogging style
I do a lot
content?
more like vlogging, day in my lives,
Okay.
cooking, just like lifestyle on YouTube, and then makeup tutorials on Insta, and then TikTok. I don't even know. I don't even know what TikTok wants.
We actually spoke about YouTube because it's very difficult, like you mentioned, like vlogging. You're in the same location, for instance. You've got your set routine every morning, go to gym, all of that. We also find it difficult to like produce content outside of the live streams for YouTube. And is there anything else other than the vlogging that you think you can maybe get into like a series? Because we try to think like I don't know if you've seen some of the car guys that like rebuild cars, and I told Keegan it's very easy because your content for the next say 3-4
Like the guys
months.
that do car washing.
Yeah, or the
those
car
are so good.
washing,
Carpet
like
cleaning.
yeah, that's easy. Like your
Yes.
content is the job, and when the
Yes.
job's done, you go on to the next. Where
Yeah.
with, for instance, vlogging, it's not like a job or something you constantly need to be creative. You constantly need to think,
Outside
what
the box.
is it that people will watch? And
Yeah.
do you ever sit down and think, okay, Flip, what series can I do? How can I be creative with the editing, with the video, all of that? I think as content creators, that's most probably the most difficult part,
Yeah,
is getting that
keeping-
idea of what you're going to shoot.
Especially when you kind of doing campaigns almost based around the same kind of products. It's very hard to make it look different, especially when you're in one house. And also my scenery in J-Bay is very limited. Let's just also say that. So a lot of my stuff is either at home or on the beach,
Yes.
just because that's kind of, it's the
Yes.
only like pretty kind of stuff. I mean, J-Bay is all about the beach.
Yes.
So it's hard to stay creative all the
Do
time.
you surf?
I don't.
Really?
I don't.
I'll drown.
Does
It's fun. I can catch a foamy or two and stand up, but I mean, like, no, I don't surf.
okay?
No.
Does Blaze surf?
No.
Not really.
He's from Pretoria, so he doesn't
Ah,
even realize that he
okay.
can go to the ocean and enjoy it. So,
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
it's there for his enjoyment. He doesn't understand that.
All right, ladies. Caitlin, sorry for bumping into
Oh, no, we
your
love
show.
your input.
So I'm gonna give the floor to you to close. I just want to thank both of you guys. I think it's amazing. Sailor, just from our side, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for having me. It's been
and
great.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, Caitlin. Hopefully, first of many for you. I think you
think
killed
so.
it as well. I think that that first podcast. As soon as that's out of the way,
Oh yeah, you're gonna be interviewing everyone.
I'm
girl.
very excited.
You got
I
this.
have big plans for this. I really, really want to give so many people, specifically women, the chance to tell their story. I think
the platform.
yeah, a lot of people are misunderstood, and a lot of people think people were just handed things, and I think this is a great opportunity for people to come sit here and say, start to finish, this is my journey.
Yeah.
And it's also nice to have a little bit of bragging time. Like, you worked so hard.
No, not really.
It's time to share.
Yeah.
Like indulge, like enjoy it, because at the end of the day, you've worked so hard. The reason why I was so like fixed on having you as my first guest, not only because you are a friend to me,
Yeah.
but your story is something that people can relate to. You are a very real person, and your Instagram shows that. So if someone had to watch this and message you on Instagram, you'd reply to them.
Yeah.
It's not someone who's unreachable or puts themselves out of like a human feel, if that makes sense. And I am looking forward to having more people, and I will definitely have you on again, especially once your business is launched and you can come and plug your business. But thank you so much for coming, truly. It means a
thank you for
lot,
having me.
and thank you for making this feel so natural and
it's
so
been
exciting. And yeah, thank you so much for everyone that's watching. We are so grateful for all the support, truly, and we really hope to do this more often. And if you guys have any suggestions on who you want to see on the podcast, who you want to be interviewed and hear their story, please let us know. We are always open to ideas.
you guys honestly had the best looking podcast so far.
Yeah.
The setup was clean.
I hope Sailor didn't go back on our channel and watch the first one. Did you watch our first one? We'll give you a
No.
quick.
It was
We'll give
not
you
so great.
we'll give you the quick breakdown. So firstly, we started late. We didn't know how half of the stuff we've got here worked.
It was wires and cords everywhere.
We started
It's
with
looking really neat
we
now.
started with 3 cameras. The one camera died, the battery. The second one overheated.
Yeah.
And the third one, I don't know, was true. And then you
The
see that
audio
little,
was
you
not
see that
great.
little webcam. We literally finished
They
off with
recorded
that.
with webcam. Yeah.
And one of our viewers said, in 10, 15 years, he'll look back and say, I was part of this train wreck that occurred right in front of his eyes.
It's gonna be one of the OGs.
OGs.
Literally on, I think this is our 6th episode.
Yes.
If you go to the train wreck at the beginning and you look at it now, I
You know
think
what? We
Right.
all start somewhere.
100%.
If I go back and look, if I go back and
Wow.
look at my makeup tutorials way back in the day, I'm like, what were you doing, girl?
Like, what lights
Yeah.
is this?
Yeah, guys, but then just before I think they close off, definitely are the links in the description?
we'll put it in.
We'll put the links in the description, guys, but just make sure to go follow Kate and follow Sailor. Just show them some love from the Peach Army. But yeah, I think that's it from our side.
Thank you, guys.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chad. Love you guys. See you guys at 4. Keegan and myself going live for NYC, last one of the day. I haven't looked at the markets, but we will see you